Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to the Cavs pregame report. Let's try to get in the frame, huh? What do you think? Actually, instead of being over here?
We literally just eyed this up, too. Here we are.
We're live from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Life is good because the Cavs and Boston Celtics are getting ready for the second meeting in basically 1 week's time, and technically less than a week. And obviously, Cavs fans are feeling pretty good because not only did they have an incredible win over Boston the last time around, John, they did it without Darius Garland. And the great news tonight, not only will Darius play, he's playing without goggles. To me, that really signals, hey, I'm good to go.
Yeah, and I think that was something that was a surprise to me to hear pregame because JB had talked extensively about kind of the medical issues he was going through. The swelling was obviously a concern, that he had been fitted for these goggles, and that was kind of the plan, that it seemed like that he was going to be wearing this protective eyewear the next time he stepped out onto the floor. No eyewear tonight. We'll see how it impacts Darius. Got to admit, I was a little anxious to see him out there with the goggles. I loved him with the goggles on the bench, but good to see him back in the lineup tonight. I think that's just going to add a little extra charge to this team because, let's face it, they've had some emotional wins. They had the opportunity or the chance for potentially a letdown on Sunday night, another big comeback late. So I think that this team can maybe use a little extra juice, and Darius coming back into the lineup is going to provide that tonight.
I'm trying to decide how I really thought the first 5, 6, 7, 8 games of the season would go record-wise, where they are versus where I thought they would be. It's kind of hard to really pinpoint something. The narrative coming into the season for so long was, how are these guys going to fit together? Could they figure it out quickly enough? I think we know that right now the answer to that question is yes, but we've also only seen Darius play 13 minutes this year. Right. So, is there still something to that? I guess we'll find out. The good news is Darius Garland is such a selfless player. And as JB alluded to in his pregame press conference here, he is frankly more of a pass-first guy that can score when he's open to take shots. So I don't think there's any worry there. But at the same token, you're going to watch a team tonight come to Cleveland that is considered to be one of the favorites in the East. You got a Cavs team that's taking the NBA by storm. And we're going to see what we hope and think and feel like is the right full loaded Cavs team.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably about as anticipated of maybe a matchup for an early season game I think that you could probably get.
Sure.
Specifically after you're coming off of the big win in overtime on Friday night. You had them circled on the schedule here less than a week later, and then you're getting your all-star point guard back into the lineup. One thing that JB also said pregame that kind of stuck out as well is that as far as an adjustment period goes, like, these guys are used to playing with DG. They work together all through preseason, so I don't think there's going to be too much shaking the cobwebs off, hopefully. That I guess what kind of remains to be seen. We also will likely see more of that staggering that we talked about a lot during the preseason, during training camp, about staggering Darius, staggering Donovan. Probably going to see Donovan in maybe longer stretches, Darius in shorter spurts, but I think the plan is still for JB to kind of stagger those guys to keep one of them on the floor at all times tonight.
And obviously the goal is to have, as JB said early in the year, at least 3 of your best players on the floor at the same time. 3 of your top 8, I think, is how he described it. And, you feel like we've been able to see that kind of hold true here through the first couple weeks of the season. With everybody healthy now, you want to manage as much as you can Darius's fitness. The good news is, in addition to the fact that he's not wearing goggles, there's no vision problems with his eyes, so we're not worried about something long-term.
No minutes restriction, he said.
Yeah.
So
he's literally at the same risk that anybody else is of being poked in the eye on any given night. So hopefully that doesn't happen moving forward here. The other big takeaway I had was about the defense. Look, this team has obviously shot the ball really well, which is really fun. You got a team leading the NBA in three-point shooting, but perhaps more important than that, because shooting can be so streaky, they've been as good, if not even better defensively as we hoped they would be. To JB's point, he said, if you look at kind of the breakdowns of, quarter by quarter, he said, we've been elite in the fourth quarter and in overtime. They haven't necessarily been great in the first quarter, and you've got a Boston team that is very good offensively in the first quarter. So in his words, he said, look, we're playing good basketball, but we still haven't played what I think is our best brand of Cavs ball.
Yeah, and if you want to look no further than really that last game against the Knicks for how streaky that shooting can be, somebody asked the question tonight. I think they shot their way out of and shot their way back into that game because I think they only connected at maybe 15 or 20% as far as three-pointers are concerned in that third quarter against the Knicks on Sunday night. And while that might not seem like a lot, when you're chucking 50, that's 15 three-pointers that you're putting up in that in that quarter. And then conversely, I think they shot 60 or 70% in the fourth quarter while they were holding the Knicks to 0 for 5 from three and to only 15 points for three. So there is that defense and there is that shooting that they were talking about.
It's also the last game of the homestand.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any control or thoughts or feelings about it, but you're going west pretty early in the year with some momentum, I would think. Even if tonight doesn't go Cleveland's way, you're still taking a good start to the season out to the West Coast. And maybe it's a good time to get some of the teams on that road trip. We can dive maybe more into that in a little bit, but I think the opportunity to play a really good team again tonight and basically close this homestand with two really good teams, at least you think they're going to be good teams by the end of the year, 3 straight opponents total, a chance to really assert yourself as like, hey, we're not just off to a hot start. We are as good as everybody's talking about nationally that thinks we can be this good.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about another opportunity to make a statement here before you go out on the road, and also, build a little bit of confidence too. Everyone talks about the road trip as a good opportunity for teams, especially early on. You got some new guys. You got Donovan Mitchell added to the mix. Good opportunity to maybe build some team chemistry on the road. Not that necessarily these guys like it or need it. It seems like they like each other enough as it is, but a good opportunity for this team to really gel and come together to get that kicked off tonight with a win over Boston, I think would go a long way towards, I don't know necessarily if building their confidence is the right way to describe it, but solidifying the confidence that they already have would go a long way for that.
Yeah, totally agree. Should be a fun night. 7:30 tip here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. They're on national TV tonight. So in addition to watching, if you'd like, on Valley Sports Ohio, you can check out the game on ESPN. I think this is the first national game of the year, right?
I thought there was one.
Or was there one more?
I thought we might have had one other. There's a couple NBA TVs thrown in there,
tell you,
depending on what your package
things
is.
are blending together this time.
Yes, it is. And you know what? Depending on where you live, what your TV package is, you may or may not be getting those national televised games. So
It's true. It's true. Well, multiple ways to watch the Cavs tonight. That's the point. And we are your home, we sure hope, anyways, for your post-game coverage. CavsInsider.com. We'll have plenty of content posted for you. If you subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the notification bell, you'll know exactly when JB Bickerstaff and potentially as many as 2 players come to the podium live post-game. We'll stream that live, and then we'll do this again after the game's over and let you know our thoughts, hopefully talking about a Cavs win. So for John Rudder, I'm Brendan Gulick. Thanks for hanging out on Cavs Insider, and we'll talk to you after the game. Cavs and Celtics tonight.